Hey, welcome to the Dad Surviving Divorce channel. I'm Dwayne, and today we're going to talk about covert narcissism and the 8 ways that you can get tricked. On this channel, we talk about recovering from toxic divorces, parenting tips to strengthen your relationship with your kids, and tips and techniques to basically deal with this entire situation. And we're going to jump right into it. Covert narcissism is a really complicated beast, and it's very subversive and under the radar, and it really damages your sense of self. So as we dive into these 8 different ways that you were tricked, hopefully it'll help you understand what happened, why it happened, and basically ways to deal with it. And at the end of this, I'm going to talk about three specific things to help you basically, like, what do you do now? Okay, number 1, they listen. They listen to everything. They're outstanding as observers of what's going on around them and what people are saying. So as a result of that, they're watching you. And in the beginning stages of this, they did watch you to learn everything they could about you. Number 2, they guard who they are. They do not really show you their true self. They want to hide the person that they are because they're really not in touch with it. And they also don't want that, that slip for you to basically see something that maybe you don't like. Number 3, they mirror who you are. So they take everything from step 1 where they were watching and observing, and then they start projecting back to you or mirroring back to you what they think that you want to hear or what you want in life. So and your interests. So if you like, let's say you like, country music, then they're going to like country music. If you like Jeeps, they're going to like Jeeps. If you like, light beer, they're going to like light beer. And one thing you'll notice as the relationship falls apart, those same things that they liked and those same things that they disliked, which typically correlate with what you like and dislike, they'll completely switch and morph into someone else. When that happens, look at this list and it'll make sense because they're doing the exact same thing with the new person that they did with you. Number 4, they are going to push that you guys are soulmates. They'll, that you found each other and you're a perfect match because they're mirroring who you are. And with that, they're going to push to try to make the relationship go faster because they want to set those anchors, set those hooks, set the hooks in to where you don't get away. That you think, oh my God, I found the right person and this person is amazing because you're basically falling in love with yourself, which I'll get into later, and you don't want to let it go. And number 5 is, and I kind of mentioned this at the end of number 4, is they push things fast. They want the relationship to go fast. They want to move in fast. They want to get married fast. You'll find that it's like this whirlwind that you just can't get out of. Okay, number 6, and this is when things start to basically transition into the not so great area, and that is they start pushing and testing your boundaries. Now that doesn't mean it's going to be completely in your face. It's subtle. They're going to start doing little things just to see what they can get away with. They're going to test to see what you're willing to put up with. And the thing is when you go back with the other previous steps, they've already set that anchor and you're basically addicted to what you think that illusion is. So you're more inclined to let those things go, to let things just, think it's a one-off incident and you don't realize that the heat is slowly being turned up and they're testing you. Okay, number 7, and this is when things really start, when you start questioning things, and that's whenever you catch them in something and then they lie back and they basically project on you and try to turn the situation around so that you lose sight of what the failure, the facade slip is that you saw. The reason for that is so to get you off kilter, to make you not really think about it. You're like, hey, why did you say that? And then boom, it turns into something else. So it's deflection. It's to get you to not focus on what's really going on and think about something completely different. And unfortunately at this stage when this stuff happens, you're already been kind of sucked in from steps 1 through 5 to where you think that this is an amazing relationship that you really don't want to lose because it's freaking amazing. And you are willing, again, as a boundary push, you're willing to allow this to happen and you don't really catch it. And number 8, and the last way that you're tricked, is they keep you in a constant state of chaos. And what I'm talking about with this, and you'll probably recognize this as I say this, is that if you come home one day and everything's great and you get basically attacked it seems like out of the blue, and you don't understand why. It's because they need the constant state of chaos so that you don't have the time and energy to relax and see what's going on. Partly they also need the chaos because they don't necessarily want things to relax for themselves, because they don't want to look within themselves. But what you'll notice is you'll come home or whatever happened, and there'll be an argument that's just created which seems like out of thin air. And that is to keep that chaos, to keep you, second guessing what's going on and not giving you the time to relax. Okay, so if you find yourself in this situation, you're probably going, okay, well, this is just outstanding, so now what do I do? And there are some things that you need to think about as you're progressing through this, and I'm going to cover 3 of them right now. First, don't beat yourself up for falling for the trap. If you think about the list from the beginning on the first few, they are basically doing everything they can to learn about you and create this false narrative or this facade for you to fall in love with. And I mean, to be perfectly honest, who wouldn't? I mean, if you were being systematically lied to and given a narrative that isn't really true about what the relationship is, why wouldn't you? I mean, why wouldn't you fall in love with somebody who seems attentive, who listens to you, who seems, listening to your every word, and is basically the person that you always thought you wanted? Why wouldn't you fall for that? And the second part of that, and which I just basically covered, is you have to realize that you basically fell in love with yourself. They mirror to you everything that you were ever looking for in a person, your dreams, your wants, your desires. So you fell in love with that. And finally, what I want to say is, and this is really, it's kind of scary, is covert narcissists have a tendency, whenever the relationship ends or their facade falls apart, to turn into overt. So that person that you think you knew in the past, that person that you thought you loved, that seemed like you had something together, basically a relationship built on something, it's not there. So you need to mentally prepare yourself for when that falls apart, that they will turn vicious in an instant, and there's no remorse, there's no guilt. It's just they will be focused on what they're doing, what they're working for, or what their goals are, and you are a basically collateral damage to that. So just remember that. So as this is progressing on, and if all this stuff in the previous 8 ring a bell, and if it sounds vaguely familiar, just prepare yourself that once the relationship starts to fall apart, once you no longer serve a purpose and you have no value, they have no qualms with basically going for the jugular to get everything they can possibly get. The sad part about it is that you're still kind of connected to what you thought the facade of the original relationship was. So when this whole thing falls apart, you're at a really big disadvantage, because whatever they decide to do, however they try to play you against yourself, basically, you're not prepared for it. So keep that in mind, that as this, just even if you don't think it's true, just keep it in your mind that's a possibility, so you protect yourself. Now, I know there's more ways that you can be tricked, and if you want to add those in the comments below, do that, because it could be helpful for someone else who's going through this. Then they might see your comment and go, yeah, holy crap, that's exactly what happened to me. All right, guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like the channel, please subscribe. If you haven't had an opportunity to go over to the Dad Surviving Divorce website and sign up for the newsletter, please run on over to do that, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Take care. Bye.